Hi, I hope this isn't crooked. Okay, so come have a chat with me. I'm outside, as you can tell, and I do not have any professional equipment, so please forgive me if it's a little bit hard to hear. So I have a few questions today. What is your identity based on? Is it really based on Christ? You know, the last few years, 2 months, I have been going through a lot of ups and downs, and I would say a lot more downs than ups. I always had a very specific goal in my head, a very specific ideal that I wanted to achieve. It's academic related, has always been this specific degree and academic validation. That's all I wanted. And in my head it all made sense. In my head it all made sense because it wasn't harming anyone. If anything, it would help me out in the future, all of the job opportunities. I would be helping out my family as well, because I would be making good money. Why wouldn't the Lord want that for me? That's what I thought, right? Why wouldn't He bless me with that? Why would He give me all of these opportunities and the capacity to achieve all of those grades, and why? Right? So I never really questioned myself if that's really what God wants me to do or where God wants me to be at. I just always knew that was it. And obviously, because of all of the validation and everything else, I never questioned it. That's when things started to get interesting. That's where everything just started to crumble. So the last few months, whenever I would study and give my all, for some reason the feedback wouldn't come back to me. The feedback of the work that I was putting in. So it wasn't positive. I was studying so much, but the grades wouldn't match. And I never had this problem before. I mean, maybe, but not at this rate. The teachers started to come up to me and ask me, "Are you okay? Like, is something going on? I mean, you're a great student." Not even the teachers could understand what was going on, especially me. As I said, everything was falling apart. And while everything was falling apart, it never occurred to me that God was trying to talk to me. No, I just ignored everything because I so desperately knew that was where He wanted me to be, that was the goal. I thought that was the goal, so I didn't even question it. I didn't let God speak to me. I didn't. I was doing whatever I thought was right. Because why would God allow me to go through all of this, all of the trouble and everything else to get and be where I'm at, just for it not to work out? So in my head I was like just thinking, this is just another trial, and yes, I'm going to get through this and I'm going to pass. But I didn't. I had to drop out. I felt miserable. I had no ground to stand on, and that's when I realized that my identity wasn't based on Christ. My identity was based on Christ, but with extra conditions. So I thought it was, you know, I would tell myself, I was deceiving myself actually, but I would tell myself that it was based on Christ, but I had specific conditions, right? So it's like everything's fine if those conditions are met. So if that's not on point, then it crumbles, and that's what happened. It crumbled. It crumbled, and I just felt miserable. Miserable, not because I had lost years of my life just living for the academic validation and what I thought was going to be the end goal for me. No, not because of that, but because of what people were going to think. Right? Because my value, what I thought, who I thought I was based on that. It was based on these worldly achievements, vain things. So I was scared of what people were going to think. I was scared that people were going to think less of me, going to think little of me, because that's who I was in my head. That's all I had. Just this knowledge that I'm sorry, but isn't worth a cent. It's vain. Has no worth. Everything that I have learned, everything that I have achieved with my own hands, right? All of these degrees, grades, whatever. It's vain. After all the crumbling, after all of just the pain and all of the thoughts that were going through my head, I spoke to the Lord. But this time, I wasn't forcing any idea or goal onto him. And I just told him, I just told him the truth. I have nothing to give. There is nothing in me that is good. I don't have the capacity to create an extra cell in my body. I don't even know how many cells there are in my body. Who am I to even think that, or think that I know better, right? Who am I to think that? Who am I to try and control my life? And I told the Lord, I'm suffering, but if you don't want me to be here anymore, then so be it. So be it, but help me to live my life based on you. I don't want any second minute of my life to be spent trying to follow my own desires. I want to truly live like Jesus. So that was my prayer. And I can tell you that there's still a lot that is unanswered in my life. A lot. I still don't know how life is going to go for me after this. But I have never felt more at peace. I have never felt more alive than right now. Thank you. See, he agrees. So, my question for you is, what is your identity based on?